So everybody right now wants to know whether or not print on demand is dead, or is it a good option for you still in 2022? Can you still achieve 6 figures with print on demand, or can you still achieve 7 figures with print on demand in 2022? Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Camille Sal, known as the ECOM King, and in today's video, I'm going to be telling you whether or not I think print on demand is dead. I'm also going to be explaining the 3 reasons why people fail when trying to do print on demand. So let's get straight into the answer that everybody wants to know. Is print on demand dead in 2022? And my answer to this is definitely not dead. It has got a massive opportunity going for it in 2022 if you're going to want to start a print on demand business. The reason why I don't think print on demand is dead is because there's loads of online stores making 6 figures and 7 figures still to this day doing print on demand, and I'm going to be showing you them in the next few minutes. Now, the reason why I think there's a massive opportunity for print on demand in 2022 is because there is so much investing going into the print on demand business model right now when it comes to companies offering you POD services like quality control, shipping times, printing control. Everything's just getting better and better year on year. Another reason why I think there's a massive potential in print on demand in 2022 is because people have never been so passionate before than they have been in 2022, meaning that they want to showcase their passions, what they're interested in, and what they stand for. And this is all to do with what's gone in the world recently. People have just become way more passionate and way more stronger in what they feel like showing in their day-to-day life. And this is the key ingredient to what makes successful print on demand stores, which is passion and interest. And I'm going to be showing you a few stores that have been crushing it recently in the POD business. So as you guys can see on my screen, I'm on the Shopify Exchange website, and for those that don't know what Shopify Exchange is, it's basically where you come to list your successful Shopify stores for sale once you're ready to sell them. And the first store I'm going to be showing you is called Flower Children Stay Blessed, Stay Positive, and that obviously gives away what this is all about. And you can see they've achieved over $900,000 in revenue with a 35% profit margin. So if you do the math, they made some really good profit margins on this store. Now, if I show you the website, you can see this is aimed for all ages, all genders, and everybody. And if we go straight down and I'll show you some of the apparel, you can see here they're selling some hoodies, and this is obviously print on demand. It's very obvious because of the mock-ups and the way they've structured it. And as you guys can see, it's all about being positive, being blessed. It's all about rainbows and stuff like that. So if we actually scroll down and go to where it says about flower and children, this is going to tell us exactly what this brand's all about. So if we take a look at their about section, you can see here it says, let out your inner happy. We are living in a world where people get more and more divided, and where people experience immense pressure to perform and become more successful, but so many people lose. So basically it's talking about how we're all going to come together to build peace, and we're going to include people back together again and make people happy. And you can see here they talk about the culture of the fashion store that they're trying to build. You can see here it's all about peace, and you can see they're going really into great detail explaining what their brand message is and what they're trying to achieve with what they're selling. So if we take a look at their best selling hoodie, which is, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world, colorful tree, white hoodie. Now these words right here are from a song, and I forgot the name of the song, so I'll put an image on the screen. And it's a very famous song talking about a wonderful world and what a world of wonderful and beautifulness could look like. And they've basically demonstrated that into a t-shirt design. So they've took a very successful song with a very powerful message behind it, and they put it into a t-shirt. And they've also got a brand message about peace. So then combined, this is what creates a winning design. So the second store that I want to show you is this French store, and I cannot pronounce the name of the store because I am not French, so I do apologize about that. But if we scroll down, you can see they've achieved just under $700,000 since mid-2020, which is absolutely insane, and they've made a 30% profit margin. Now, if we take a look at their website, again, I can't explain what it means, but I have translated it into English, but I can't explain to you what the actual design actually means because I don't speak French. But you can see here, there's some very basic designs with literally just 2 words on there in French. And again, if I knew what they meant, then maybe I'd understand why it's such a successful brand. But you can see how simple and how basic this is. Does this look professional to you? Maybe. But what's more important is whatever brand message they've got going on these t-shirts. That's what's making it such a successful brand. And I wish I knew what was actually being said on these t-shirts, because if you look, it's so basic, but there's such a powerful message or a fun message that people just want to wear. So the third store that I want to show you is called Streetwear Mohsin. You can see they've been able to achieve just under $800,000 and they've got a 30% profit margin. Now, if we take a look at one of their best-selling t-shirts, it's this one right here where two hands are exchanging a cigarette. So I don't quite understand what this means. But if you take a look at the store, look at how like basic and how, in my opinion, I don't mean to offend anybody, look at how unprofessional this looks for a store, yet they've been able to achieve just under $1 million. So the reason why I wanted to show you those 3 different Shopify stores utilizing the print on demand business model was to show you guys that people recently are still achieving great success with the print on demand business model. And I'll also leave a link in the description to a few videos that I made a few months ago about 2 other stores that have been killing it with print on demand. So let's get into the 3 reasons why most people fail starting a print on demand Shopify store. Now, reason number 1, and this ties into the 3 stores that I just showed you, so if you're paying attention, this will make a lot of sense. Now, it's all about building a print on demand store that's not a fashion store, and this is where people go wrong. They try and build a print on demand fashion store, and that just will not work. Now, the key to success is by starting a print on demand store that represents a strong message that people want to showcase to the world that could be very sensitive to them. So for example, one of those stores was all about happiness, and they were taking lyrics from a song and putting it into a t-shirt, and very famous songs that most people would know about. There's another print on demand store called City Tees, and it's all about the city that you come from in America and repping it on your shirt and showing people that you're proud of the city that you come from. There's another print on demand store that I've showcased on this channel before where it's all about gym wear, but it's all about including bad foods like donuts, brownies, chocolates, and putting them on gym wear, showing that you're not disappointed eating these foods, but you're still able to go to a gym. So it's a very strong message. So the key to success with print on demand starts with this one thing. You need to find a strong, passionate message that people want to represent when they go out into the everyday world. Now, an example of taking advantage of a recent trend that people are passionate about is a Netflix series called Squid Game or Squad Game, whichever one it is. I'll put it on the screen so you know which one I'm talking about. Now, everybody's heard about this TV show, Netflix show, whatever you want to call it, and people are very, very passionate about it. So what somebody could have done is they could have created a print on demand store, not putting people's faces on there, but taking quotes from the Netflix series and putting it on the t-shirt. That other store took a quote from the music song and put it on the t-shirt. So this is an example of recently what you could have done by putting quotes from the Netflix series on there or designs, but just making sure that you don't get conflict with copyright issues. And by just taking quotes from there, you shouldn't have any issues. Or by creating riddles on a t-shirt that only people would know what they mean if they would have watched the TV show. Now I've given you a recent example. How can you guys go out there and find these for yourself? So it's very simple. You can use things like Google Trends and search for topics that could potentially be trending. Look at what's going on in the news right now. Go on Twitter, go on TikTok. Those are great places to go to find out what the recent trends are right now, what everybody's gossiping about. Or go into an industry that you're passionate about. If you're passionate about music, then go into a music genre that you're passionate about and work out what the latest gossip is, what people are trending in, what people are passionate about, and then go and make a print on demand store. Don't take it too seriously, but try and see if it works with a relevant audience. I bet if you were to ask these guys that own these print on demand stores how many times have you tried POD, they'll say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They didn't just create one store and then see success. They must have tried loads of different ideas and one eventually clicked. So the second reason why people fail with print on demand is because they've created this amazing print on demand store. They've got a really solid brand message on their t-shirts, but they're not advertising it to the people that are going to resonate to it. So you need to make sure that you're trying different audiences out on Facebook, or maybe you're targeting the right audience, but your ad copy on the actual advert doesn't explain what it is. So let's say, for example, let's take the Squid Game example. I might want to target Netflix on Facebook as an interest, but if my ad copy doesn't explain what the design's about, then they're not going to click and they're not going to want to go on the website. So you need to make sure that if you've got a great brand store of print on demand, you need to make sure that in the ad copy you're explaining to people that when they scroll through the timeline exactly what it is, so they can click with it and they can get straight on your store and they can buy it. So you need to really explain your designs really well in the ad copies. Now the other issue is people are not trying other platforms like TikTok. Your audience might be on TikTok, not Facebook. They might be on Google, not Facebook. So you need to try the different audiences out. Now historically, the most successful print on demand businesses have advertised on Facebook and they've used image ads or carousel ads, but they've made an ad copy that really explains the design that they're trying to promote. Now the third reason why most people fail in POD POD is because it costs way too much money to create your POD designs using a POD logistics supplier like Printify or Printerform. They're both amazing companies, but it is extremely expensive to use them. Say for example, it costs you $24.99 to make a hoodie with your design on it or your quote on it, and then you go and sell it for $49.99 because that's a good profit margin to make, and you're going to make, let's say, $5 or $10 from it. Then realistically, people ain't going to pay that price because you're not a brand like Nike or Adidas that has a real brand behind it that's willing for people to pay that type of price. You can be an amazing brand and an amazing POD store that has amazing designs on your clothing, but if you're selling it for $50 for a hoodie, people just ain't going to buy it because it's way too expensive. And let's say you could take that $50 hoodie that you're selling and change it to $39.99 and keep the same profit margins, or $34.99. That's going to be way more attractive for you as the business owner and for the customer that's going to be buying from you, which makes it more likely for people to buy your POD clothing because it's an acceptable price. Now you're probably thinking, how am I going to get good quality POD products at a good affordable price? And I've got the solution for you guys. I want to say a massive shout out to Huge POD for reaching out to me the other month, because I get loads of POD companies reaching out to me on a monthly basis, and this is the first one that actually stood out and stuck to the words that they were saying, which is affordability, good quality, and fast shipping times. And they literally delivered on those three things. So I want to share them with you guys today, because I've actually got some products I'm going to be showing you later to show you how good the quality of the products actually are. So this is their website right here. You've got their product catalog right here, which I'll be talking about a little bit later. They've got the drop shipping option, which is basically the POD option. And they've also got wholesale option as well. So when you scale your POD business, you then want to wholesale to get the product pricing down. Obviously, you're going to make more money, but that's like basically taking a product from AliExpress and getting an agent or a fulfillment center. So wholesale is more long term. Then you can see here you can connect your store using WooCommerce, Shopify, and the rest of them. And you can see here what makes Huge POD stand out. Now, using Huge POD, this is going to cost you $6.65, but other platforms would normally charge about $16. And you can see here a design like this would normally charge you on another platform $25.95, but it's only going to charge you $9.64 here. So you're saving 60%. And then they go over how they're able to offer us really good high quality products at a lower price. And it's really important for you guys to take a look at this in your own time, because it is really, really important. This is the bit that you guys are going to want to know. What are the shipping rates and what are the shipping times? And I'll leave a link to Huge POD in the description so you can check all this information out for yourself. But you can see for the United States, you're looking at around about 7 to 15 days shipping time. And remember, that can be a lot quicker. That could take a little bit longer depending on a few different things. Now, the shipping rates really do depend on the actual weight of the product that you're selling. So realistically, you're going to range from around about $5 all the way up to around about $20. It really does depend though on your product weight, so do consider that in mind. Now for the United Kingdom, it takes around about 5 to 15 days to get here, and mine actually took 7 days to get here when I got mine, so it's actually really, really quick. Now Canada is very similar to the United Kingdom in terms of the shipping times and the shipping rates, and Australia is very similar to the United States in terms of shipping costs and shipping times. So let me show you guys how easy and simple it is to use Huge POD for your print on demand store and business. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to create an account up here, then you want to connect your store, and it will take you to an integration page with Shopify or WooCommerce. Then you want to go to the product catalog and you want to pick what you want to start designing. For my example, guys, I'm going to be using the sweatshirts to design, and as you guys can see here, there's 5 different sweatshirts, and I'm going to be showing you now a comparison price with Printerful. So you can see here I've sorted it by highest price, and this one's coming in at around about $13, and this is 100% cotton, and it's an all over print, meaning that the print can be all over the sweatshirt, not just in certain areas. Now if we compare this with Printerful, you can see right here it's going to cost you for the roughly the same thing around about $40, and that's not including the add-on designs if you want to put the logo and the neckline. So that is extremely expensive. That's over double the amount. And once you've chose which sweatshirt you want to go for, and this depends what kind of outlook you're going for. If you're somebody that wants to go for a 100% cotton sweatshirt, which is really good quality, now they're all good quality, but you just want to go for one which is 100% cotton, but it's only got a quotation on the middle of the shirt, you might want to go for this one. But if you want to go for one where there's a design all over the shirt, you might want to go for this one. And once you have, you want to hit design. And once you hit design, it will take you to a page that looks like this, where there's a man wearing the mock-up sweatshirt, and you can choose the color of the sweatshirt here, so you can change it. For example, I'm going to change mine to this black color. And then you got clip art, so you can actually use some of the clip art that they've got for you, which is copyright free here if you want to add it. You can also use some of their copyright image free here as well. So if you want to use some images, you can, but you can also upload your own photos as well. So you can see I've got my ECOM King logo here. So I'm going to click on it. And as soon as you click on it, you can literally drag it. Because it's an all over design, you can drag this wherever you want. There's no restrictions to where you want to put it. So let's say I'll put mine there. Then you can customize the back of the sweatshirt as well. And you can also add your inner label. So I might want to put my face as the inner label in here. And then I might want to put it in the center like that. And then once you've done, you can hit save. And then you can order it as you can sync it to your Shopify store. So what I'm going to be doing for you guys is I'm going to be showing you a side-by-side example of me using Printful instead of Huge POD to show you what the cost would be. So you can see I've uploaded my design, but you can see here the print area is only this green box or this turquoise box. But with the other design, I can put it anywhere. So for now, I'm just going to put it here. So you can see I've put that here. Now, in terms of the inside label, so there should be an inside label here. You can see I'm going to upload my design again into that inside label. And you can see now it's going to cost between 15 and 19 pounds. Now, if we were to put that in dollars, you're looking at around about $25 to $30. Now, I want to show you guys the product quality as well. You can see here 50% cotton, which is amazing, but 50 polystyrene, which is not amazing. You want to have 100% cotton because that's the best quality for your customers. Now, do bear in mind, guys, that this is the cheapest sweatshirt that Printful offers right now. Now, this is still way more expensive than Huge POD, and this sweatshirt is 100% cotton. Now, Printful's around about double the price of what you're going to be getting on Huge POD. Now, before I show you guys the real life quality of the Huge POD clothing, so I got loads of their clothing in the studio right now, which I'll be showing you in the next few minutes so you can see what the quality is like and what I think of it. I want to talk a little bit about the downsides of Huge POD because it's not just all positives. Now, the downsides to me is the interface is not as polished as Printful. Printful's interface is amazing. There's loads of features on there. On the other hand, Huge POD, it's not as good. So you've got to consider that when it comes to you creating and designing your own designs. Now, the other downsides are Printful's got loads of factories around the world, which makes a lot easier for people when it comes to import taxes, when it comes to EU taxes. So for example, if I want to sell just to the UK, there's a Printful warehouse that they make it and they ship it directly from the UK. Now, on the other hand, with Huge POD, you don't have those benefits. So do bear that in mind. Now, the last downside that I can see with Huge POD is they're not as big as Printful and Printify, which means when it comes to customer support and other things similar to that, they're not going to be as good because they've got a smaller company. So also bear that one in mind. Now, as long as you can get past those three little negatives when it comes to Huge POD, and in my opinion, they're not detrimental enough for me not to use them, then it's a massive opportunity when it comes to 2022 POD because it means you're going to get really, really good quality POD clothing at such a good price. So guys, what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be reviewing the clothes that I received from Huge POD, and I'm going to be taking a look at the quality of the clothing. Now, these are some things that you want to take into consideration when judging the quality of print-on-demand clothing. Number one, the print quality. How well is your logo, your saying, your graphic design added to the garment? Is it good quality or bad quality? The second thing that you want to take a look into is the actual weight of the actual garment, the hoodie, the t-shirt, the sweatpants, how heavy the GSM. GSM is basically the weight of the actual product itself. The more heavier, the better quality the actual product is. Now, the third thing that you want to look at is the material breakdown of what the garment's made out of. Is it made out of polyester? Is it made out of cotton? Is it a mixture of both? Realistically, you want to be going towards more of the cotton-based materials because those are better quality materials. The fourth thing that you want to look into is things like the stitching and the overlocking. Is there lots of double stitching? Is there stitches missing? And with the overlocking, is it being overlocked or not overlocked? That's basically, if it's been overlocked, it's better quality, and I'll be showing you this later. So these are the things that you really want to be considering when picking your POD supplier. So the first garment that I want to show you is the hoodie full print. So basically this means it's a hoodie that you can put a full print onto it. So you can see here, this is the hoodie, but you can see over the whole of the hoodie, there's a print 360 on the sleeves, on the back, on the front, it's everywhere on the hood. So we call this a full print hoodie. Now, the actual print itself, look at how quality this is. This is insanely high quality. It's like 4K on an actual hoodie itself. So the quality of the actual print is unreal. I can't even argue with the quality of the print. Something that I do also like is they're using metal tips for the lace tips, which I really do like. Now, if you look at the stitching as well, the stitching's actually really good. So I don't think the camera's gonna pick this up, but the stitch quality is very good. I don't see any double stitching, and if there is, there's only a small amount. And in terms of the joints, the way it's been overlocked, so you can see this here, this is what they call overlocking. The overlock has been done really well, and by it being overlocked just basically means that it's high quality. Now, the only downside to this full print hoodie is the material it's made out of. It's made out of like a latex feel to it. It's like a gym wear feel to it, and it just, I don't like that type of material if I'm wearing something casually. Like if I'm going to the gym, then fair enough, but if I'm going to be wearing this out and about, then I don't like the material of it. Now, the reason why they have used this material is because this is the best material to use if you're going to be doing 360 prints, because this will show the print in its best quality. So you can see here, look at how high quality the print is. You're not going to get that on cotton. You're just not going to get the same look on cotton. Now, if I was to rank this garment out of 10 in terms of 10 being the best, 0 being the worst, I'd give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. And the reason why is because everything's amazing but the material, which is what I personally don't like. Now, the second garment I want to show you is this sweatshirt, and it's like an off-white color sweatshirt, and you can see I've got the ECOM King logo actually printed into the sweatshirt. So it's not a vinyl, it's not a print on top, it's actually in the material itself. And I actually prefer this to a vinyl, because if it's vinyl based, then it will come off slowly after a few washes and when you iron it. So I like the way that this has actually been put in. Now, the only downside to putting it inside of the material is the print quality isn't always the best, and when I show you it compared to a vinyl, you'll see the difference, but it's still very good quality considering it's actually inside of the material. Now, this is extremely heavy. I can't emphasize to you guys how heavy this sweatshirt is, and the quality of the sweatshirt is unreal. Like, look at the seams here on the sleeves, and look at the quality of the stitching as well. Now, I am extremely impressed with the sweatshirt by looking at the neckline as well. Now, this is extremely heavy. The quality is really nice as well in terms of the feel. Now, this is something that you would expect from like a designer brand like Hugo Boss, Armani. In terms of the weight itself, it's really impressive. Now, I do have some expensive clothes at home, and they are not as heavy as this. This is extremely heavy. So I would say in terms of the sweatshirt quality, I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10. I want to quickly show you guys these sweatshirt bottoms to go with it, and you can see the ECOM King logo down the side of the leg, and you can have a close-up of that. It's actually really good quality, and again, it's inside of the material, not a vinyl. And you can see the quality of this by just looking at the waistband. You can see how good quality that is. You can see the quality by just looking at the pockets. Look at how well that's been done. Look at the shape as well. Take a look at the shape, it's really good. The insides as well are really nice. Again, with the front pockets, look at how clean this has been done. I don't know if you guys are going to see this, but it's unreal in terms of the quality. If you look at the bottoms as well, at the bottom, really good quality. The seams, everything. And honestly, these are extremely heavy, guys. I can't emphasize how heavy these are. So in terms of the quality, I'd match it with the sweatshirt, a solid 9 out of 10. So the next garment I want to show you guys is the zip jacket, and you can see it here. Now, this time with the zip jacket, the actual logo is actually a vinyl. So it's actual a vinyl. So this is on top of the actual garment. Now, the actual print quality is a lot better than the sweatshirt, and I'm sure you can tell by looking at it. But the downside is this will eventually come off very slowly and decolor. But the actual look of it from the get-go looks extremely better. Now, in terms of the quality of the material, I would say it's nowhere near as good as the quality of the sweatshirt, the white one. It's not as heavy. In terms of like the actual like stitching and everything, it's pretty much the same. The only downside is it just doesn't feel as heavy, and the GSM's different to the sweatshirt. I just wish it was very similar to the sweatshirt in terms of the material, because it's the same type of material. It's just not got that weight to it. In terms of the seams and stuff like that, they're all there. The zip works really well. I've tried the zip out a few times and it works really, really well. That's what the inside looks like. So you got your little overlock in there as well, which is really, really nice. Now, in terms of the back of the zip jacket, I did get the ECOM King logo put right at the bottom, and I'm going to show you that again, and that is vinyl based as well, so it's on top of the material. So I'm going to show you on a bigger scale. You can see overall I would give this zip jacket around about a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. So the next garment I want to show you is the black hoodie. Now, this has got a vinyl on it as well, so this is vinyl based. The only downside to this one is the actual vinyl itself is very cracked, so there's lots of little cracks in the vinyl, so the actual actual quality of the vinyl compared to the zip jacket is nowhere near as good for some reason. And if you take a look at the back of the hoodie, you can see I've actually had my little face on there as well. And if you look closely, it's got lots of little cracks in it. So unfortunately, the print quality on this one wasn't as good, but the overall material itself is really nice. It's still a very high quality material. The stitching's really impressive. The seams are really good as well. The actual hood pockets as well on the front here have been done extremely well. Yes, this hoodie did come with metal lace tips, as you can see here, which is what I love to see. Another thing that you want to make sure you look at when you're buying these garments is the shape of the hood, especially with hoodies, and the shape of the pockets at the front. And that's something that people don't really pay attention to. I know it's hard to see because it's black, but all the shapes of the garment have been done well. The hood shape's been done well. The sleeve bit here has been done really well, and the pockets on the front have been done extremely well, and I rate this garment 8 out of 5 out of 10. Now the next garment are these track pants, and as you guys can see here, the logo on the front. Now do bear in mind that this isn't vinyl, this has actually been inked into the actual garment itself, so it's ink based, and this did not smell. Now with Printful and Printify, I tend to find that when I receive the stuff, it really does smell of ink, and it's not got a very nice smell to it. These had no smell to them at all, which I'm very happy with. They also come with metal lace tips. Now with these track pants, I'm going to be very honest with you, I'm not very happy with these ones. Now I think it's personal preference, but I just don't like the quality compared to the other ones. Like, I don't like that. I don't like the way the sides have been done as well. I don't think the camera's going to pick it up, but there's like a slight color problem here where like you can see this weird like green color. Now these are meant to be black, jet black, but I don't think they're jet black. They're more of like a blacky green color. As you guys can see here with the front pockets, you got like this exposed white material on the edges of the pockets, and I feel like that gives it quite a cheap look. You can see here where the lace tabs come out. Again here you can see the exposed white. So what I think's happened with these bottoms is they're originally white, but then they paint them black, or they ink them black. That's why you're seeing all these exposed white bits, and it just gives it a cheap look to it and a bad look to it. So that's why I don't like these track bottoms, and I'd give them a 7 out of 10. Now the next garment is this black sweatshirt, and as you guys can see, I've got my face here, and this is a vinyl on top of the material, and the quality is actually really good. I'm quite impressed with how well that's been done. And on the back of the garment, you can see I've got the ECOM King logo there. Now this is actually a true point. Normally the bigger you make the logo or the image on the back or on the front, normally the distortion of the quality goes. So normally it's based on DCIP, so the bigger you make something, whether it be a logo, whether it be an image, the more worse quality it's going to be. So that's what they'll tell you in the editor. When you actually edit these garments on the editor, it will say try and keep it small to get the better quality. But considering how big that is, the quality is actually very good. So on other companies, I've tried it having it this size, and normally it looks horrible, the print, but on this one it's been done extremely well. Now in terms of the actual material, again, nice weight to it, very good seams to it, nice stitching, and the overall inside quality is very, very nice. So I'm going to give this a solid 8.5. Now the last garment I'm actually going to be reviewing is the t-shirt on me today, and you can see I've got the ECOM King logo here, and this is the 100% cotton t-shirt, and the quality of this t-shirt is unreal in terms of how soft and how nice it is. And I've got some really expensive t-shirts from some really big brand names, and I'm telling you that this is up there in terms of the quality. The vinyl print is flawless. There's no cracks in it, there's no distortions, there's no color blurs in there, there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm also going to put a video on the screen of showing you the inside label, because I've actually put the ECOM King name in the label just to show you how nice that looks. So overall, this t-shirt, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 because there's literally nothing flawed with the t-shirt. Now for my final conclusion on garment review for Huge POD, I'm extremely impressed considering they're a POD brand and company. The actual quality of the garments are very impressive, and I've also reviewed Printify and Printful and some other companies before, and they don't come close to the quality of these garments. Now, don't forget to use the link in the description if you're going to want to use Huge POD, because I've partnered up with them. They're going to give you guys an exclusive 20% off your first order, so make sure you use that link in the description. So guys, that wraps up today's video, whether or not I think print on demand is dead or if it's a good opportunity in 2022. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you've learned something, and I hope you guys start a successful POD business in 2022. And let me know what you thought of today's video in the comment section below, and I'll catch you next week for the next video.